What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. Coppa Italia, final or bust for Juve. We got a piece of action today with Atalanta ahead of us. Palladino gonna try and spoil the Coppa Italia run. Can Spalletti overcome this and get us to a 16th Coppa Italia? Meanwhile, the schedule after this starts to get nasty. Are we ready? Are we totally ready? Few support pieces come in. There's some news to cover. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I got Mas. I got Omer. You guys ready? And we're already having fun in the green room. But what happens in the green room stays in the green room, all right? But Mas, how you doing today, brother?
I had to throw that in there, eh?
Oh, yeah.
We wish we could talk about it, but we'll leave it there. Like you said, no, it's great, man. We got a game to look forward to today. We're rolling, so it's happy times right now. So
there you go. There you go. Juve is rolling. It is happy times. Let's keep it rolling today at the expense of those mutts, Atalanta. Omer, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, chat. Berto, Mas. I'm great. Thursday is not a game. It's not a day for matches, but it is what it is. So let's go.
Let's
I have this bad feeling on Thursdays.
Let's go. And it's great to see everybody in the army here. Again, some housekeeping out of the way. Ways you could support. Obviously, Super Chat is enabled. But even just liking the video, sharing the post, everything. We appreciate all the support. Chris, great to see you in here. Trimboli in here. Buongiorno a tutti. We got DJ Cami V in here. What's up, brother? Sikoko in here. David Tamnazian. Let's fucking go, boys, okay? Vincenzo G, great to see you. Danny Oliveira, good morning. Apex in here. Frankie the Worst, come on, boys. Let's go. Let's get this victory today. We got Alex P in here as well as Dells. Let's have some fun, okay? Let's have some fun. Now, we got some headlines we're going to take a look at, okay? A lot now apparently just focusing on the business in front of us now with the winter mercato over, okay? Boga and Home coming in here. It ends there. A lot of stories. I saw Fabrizio Romano, I believe, posting why no striker came in and the situations around all those names. Look, what's done is done. These are the lads we have going down the stretch. Boga apparently surprised the team with the fitness levels that he's at for a player that's actually been missing in action. They stated on the post November 6th, but it was actually like late November. It was around November 30th, the last piece of action that he saw. But yeah, that's a positive. He is on the squad list today, but not expected to see action today. But he's way further ahead of schedule than some were originally making it out to seem in media, okay? For Home, there was rumors Home was going to start in today's game, but I don't think that's going to be the case, and we will get to it. But as far as some headlines going into this one, we got renewal talks. McKennie and Juventus get closer. Okay, 3.8 offered from Juve, and apparently he's still hanging tight at that $4.5 million. But everybody's pretty consistent that there are positive signs that the deal gets wrapped up because both parties seem to be committed to it. All right, so it feels like it's just a matter of time before Juve and McKennie find a deal, and I'm cool with it. All right, and I don't think anybody else, you guys aren't going to say otherwise. Are we all cool with renewing this guy?
Yeah, we hashed it out many times.
One of the things that doesn't get talked about as well is the business side of it, right? Because if you don't renew at all, you are losing an asset for nothing. This is arguably the highest his value has ever been also. So from a business perspective, it's very important for Juve, I feel, to renew this guy. It's you've got Dusan Vlahovic is another asset that's probably leaving with you getting nothing. You don't want to stack that up at the end of the season and have several of these guys leaving with nothing. So McKennie's value's probably at the highest it's ever been since he's been a part of Juve. That's another reason why you just get this thing done. So we go there. But on one that popped up today, Pierre Kalulu. Kalulu is in line for renewal. Juve looking to bump it either 1 year, potentially 2, and take the salary from around 2.5 to 3 million euros. There is a stipulation in there that he must play every single minute until he explodes in a cloud of dust. Fino alla fine contract. Okay, no, that part's not in there. But Kalulu. I mean, locking him in. Adding a couple of years. Any issues there, guys? Any thoughts?
No. I think Kalulu is doing a very good job. I think he's sort of a, let's call it a bit of a modern defender who can really hybrid, and he's really involved in both the attack, the build-up. A lot of goals come from his sides, and he's a great supporting player for whoever the winger is. So I really like Kalulu. I think he's doing a great job quietly, stays healthy. And, for someone we paid, what was it, 15 million for? That's way more than we bargained for. So I like his signing. I like him at the club. Let's just keep it rolling. That's it.
All right. Mas, anything to add with Pierre?
No, it's very similar to McKennie. I think they've both had very, very solid seasons. A bit unexpected, especially with McKennie, obviously. But just the fact that Kalulu's been available for as many minutes as he has, and he's been impactful for so many games, that one seems like a no-brainer for me, especially with the salary that he's demanding. I'm good with it.
It's really hard to dribble past him, right? Like, he has really quick feet. I barely see anyone manages to dribble past him.
He's already contracted to 2029 as well, though. So it's like, I guess it's kind of a weird one. Like, I don't have any issues with it, but it's kind of like, does it have to happen? Like, do you have 2029 already?
Well, the
good.
guess is
it's not a situation where you have a player like Keenan that's at 1.7 mil salary that is far too low that you have to, correct. He's at 2.5. You're only going to boost him 500K. I mean, the salary's probably there, but you could also argue, especially with the significance and the importance that he's played on the season, that maybe, you do want to bump his pay. Maybe there is like a pay grade elevation.
Also, there's a really recent report, like from a few minutes ago, from Mirko Di Natale, that there are a few Premier League clubs interested. So maybe the contract renewal is, to ward off any suitors that might come in with a bigger salary and a big price tag, and Juve want to keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's smoke, there's fire. Like you said, he's contracted to 3 years from now. They're not just doing it for the fuck of it. They're doing it because they have a reason. Might
so they're
not
gonna
know
bump
it.
his pay, add a year, 2 years to try and keep him there. I mean, I don't think 500K is stopping if another team comes in that does interest him, but I honestly don't feel that'll happen. So it's just one of those things. But he's been, one of the unsung heroes type of style players for this year, where he just keeps going and going, and everybody was saying, man, I don't know how long this is going to last, but so far, knock on wood, been an Iron Man. An Iron Man for
let's
Juve.
Let's remind everyone that last year when Bremer got injured, he stepped up and he had he had a lot of good matches, and towards the end, it's starting to disappear.
So
but if you had to rank him, like,
in the J Vengers, it's clear which one is Iron Man. Okay, that's Pierre.
If you had to rank him, like, best performances of the season, where would he rank out of the top performers for you?
I mean, he's in there for top 3.
Yeah. 3, 4.
Top 3. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'd probably say right now my top performers are, and it's probably close between Bremer and himself, but the fact that he's played every single minute might give him a little bit of a slight edge since he's been that right center back and this hybrid on the outside. And it's still not like a true 4-2-3-1. However, as a right back or even right center back, he's been stellar. It was when he was playing as an actual wing back that we had issues. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'd say
under
Yildiz,
Tudor.
Locatelli, and then Kalulu Bremer are like right there neck and neck for me as your top three this season.
Really? I would put McKennie above them, so they're
I
fourth,
think
and
McKenny's
there's a
caught
good.
on now, but he had a lot of struggles at the start.
I think everyone picked up after Spalletti came in. Like I'm not even counting the Tudor era of
Yeah,
the
but
beginning of the
before that,
season.
Loca and Yildiz were rolling. So, and Bremer's Bremer.
I can
Bremer's the best
also,
defender in Serie A. So Max in there, but
yeah,
now, right?
yeah.
So
For me now, he'll be three, number
yeah,
three.
and even if you want to split hairs on 3, 4, 5, go ahead. But he's in there.
Yeah, I mean it's a good problem to have. Like I can throw Kelly in the mix, and he'll have a shout too, in the top five.
Yeah, and then Paulo making the thing that Kalulu is a little bit more irreplaceable at the moment compared to McKennie, that you could probably sort out something in the attack, right? It's one way to
I
look at
don't.
it
I
too, right?
disagree,
So
but I
I mean,
disagree, but fine.
if Shigrova ever gets fit, but no, I don't know. Chico, Miretti, Yildiz can't play without McKennie up there. I mean, it's a
It's
little
not
bit different
without.
style. You got to play through feet, but that's not a bad problem to have, anyways. So
Yeah, but mechanic can help you change formations during a match. You can move him to the outside and move to a three-in position. Miretti doesn't offer that. I'm talking instead of McKennie in the lineup.
okay, so
Like
you
I
take
wouldn't want to
Kalulu
see anyone.
outside. Who plays there now?
Yeah,
Home
you got
now,
more
home.
depth.
But before that, what was your solution?
You got more
Nothing.
depth at forward that you do than you do in the back,
You
right?
definitely have more depth up there, and you can
Well,
navigate
you
it
have home
better.
now.
But yeah,
Well, you have
now,
home.
yeah, now. So great stuff
Hmm.
though. I don't mind them picking up those two. There's still a lot of chatter, and it was interesting to see how people rated the winter mercato ending, and we kind of hashed it out on the deadline day show that we did there, and a lot of mixed feelings afterwards. Just saying, man, we signed bums, and it's January. Rentals, just take care of yourself. Just back yourself and leave your business ahead of you, okay? So I don't mind what they did. Yildiz, this was a big one. Deal found. Now we just wait for the official announcement and putting pen to paper. But Romano says that the details are worked out and agreed upon. There are final little pieces that need to be hashed out, but it is going to get done. There are more outlets coming out claiming the same, saying it's not a matter of if, it's just when the announcement comes. Both parties, Juve and Yildiz, have agreed, and it is just a matter of time. Both parties wholeheartedly committed to continuing together. Oh, good news. Good news. Great news. I mean, you always thought it was coming, but you wanted it to happen a little bit quicker. Like, just take care of it. Get this guy sorted. It's
No
deserved.
brainer.
Yeah, it's
No
a
brainer.
win-win for everyone. The only bad thing about it is the amount of EPL fans commenting under each one of these posts that he's ruining his career. Is he that good or blah? Awful, awful. EPL fans have no idea, so they just assume everyone is bad until they sign for a Premier League club. Beyond that, it's phenomenal for Juve. No, I mean, get it done yesterday.
I actually think it's the best that they keep piping up and keep chirping. Just easier for me to navigate where the days are going, okay?
Mm.
So I like it.
What's great about EPL fans is they have that argument, but then you
Nothing.
look at some of the players they signed in the off season that were supposed to be these, Florian Wirtz and Gyökeres, Sheshko. How are those guys performing in the EPL right now?
Uh,
Right?
Wirtz
Not
is
great.
Some of them
isn't
pretty bad.
Wirtz finally starting to come around,
Wirtz
but
is
it's
starting to come
still
around, but I mean,
yeah, it's
overall,
still a long way to go though from what was
I
expected.
mean, you had Xavi Simons that was talked about and everyone wanted, and he's just doing awful at Tottenham right now. And it was like they snapped him up before Chelsea for the end of the window. And Chelsea is on a whole other level of the players they signed that failed. I mean, they signed Mudryk for 100 million, and he's, I don't know, suspended for doping or whatever. Their entire squad is filled with overpriced players. So yeah, they have no idea who to buy and how good they are. Not
Yeah,
only
but
the
to
fans,
answer the
but the club
question,
as
what's
well.
great about EPL fans? Nothing. Sweet fuck all. Okay, now
Boom.
we keep it rolling. PSG. Okay, so we got to talk about this. PSG want Kefren Thuram, want to utilize Juve's interesting Kolomouani in trying to work out a way to facilitate a move for Kefren Thuram. This one was interesting to read some of the comments from fans on, as some fans said, you know what, I'm fine getting rid of Thuram or saying goodbye if the price is right. I don't deem him unsellable. And we always have this discussion when somebody comes out and the news just says Juve has zero intentions. He is unsellable. Well, we got to hash it out, and that's why we're here. Is he unsellable? I mean, unsellable?
I mean, I don't.
Everyone's got a number, man. Everyone's got a number.
Yeah, is anyone unsellable for any club?
Well, that's just it. So what's your number on Kefren Thuram?
Very high. The number that I have would make him unsellable.
Pretty much.
To be
What's
honest.
the number?
Yeah, I wouldn't go below, let's say, 120.
Holy shit!
Wow, are you crazy?
I had
That's
like
how-
80. I got like
Like
80.
I said, for me, he's unsellable. I mean, 120. If they can pay all those Moises Caicedos and Enzo Fernandez and all those guys, they can pay 120 for Thuram.
Wow.
There's basically there's what he's worth and there's what we think he's worth, and I think it lies somewhere in between. Over 100 is, especially the way he's playing now, that's wild. You'd really be paying for like potential, right? So for me,
I'm at 80. I'm at 80. Like 80, I'd be talking around 80.
Yeah.
No way. For me, 80, no way I'm talking. And I think he's also part of like this new core that has been, founded at Juve with Kalulu and David and Yildiz and McKennie. And I think that's a good way to go for it. They don't want to break it up.
Yeah, I
think
just
they have a good
like
thing going.
we're not a fucking daycare facility though. Like it's great that they're friends
No.
and stuff, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, not because they're friends. I
makes
think
a
that
big makes a big change too. Like that's the thing is it's not necessarily a thing where you want to keep them all, but at the same time, holy shit, man! Like a big move like, and you got to think too. So the backside of this is, let's just say hypothetically, this dream move all of a sudden opens up because you made a big sale like that one. Is there a world where you're okay if Thuram leaves and you make a big sale and you are able to splash on Tonali? Is that a change you would be okay with?
100%. I would do that swap in a second.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
of
like to
course.
see depth. I'd love to find a way where both are in this squad. But I mean, if you're looking at selling Openda, Cope Miners, you're gonna have to sell a lot of numbers to fucking. That's only gonna get you a fraction, nowhere near actually. Let's be honest, to getting a signing like that. So for me though, I like to see Thuram stay. The price tag is high. I think to Omer's thing about 120, it's PSG. And there's one thing about dealing with these teams that think that they could just come knocking and pluck all the talent, pay up. So I guess I'd say my realistic value of him would be like 80 million. I'm probably thinking about it, but Omer might be right in the sense that we got to start pushing these teams that come in. You want them? Okay, like what is a number you're good with? Everyone has a number, and maybe he's not off with 120. Maybe he's actually spot on. We're probably thinking like a realistic sales price, but yeah, I'd push them so hard if they wanted to, but it comes down to the player, and Kefren doesn't want to leave. Those are also reports associated with this. It's not just that Juve doesn't have any considerations on moving him right now. Kefren Thuram has zero considerations on leaving, so I don't think PSG is going to sway him either. Stranger things have happened. Time will tell, but I don't see.
I don't want any part of a swap between Thuram and Kolomouani. Like
That's one thing I will say, because that's the next part. It's like you're working it. I want nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. No.
Colo's really a nice to have for me, to be honest, but I don't think we should be entertaining
No,
any
straight
sort of
up
offer
cash.
like that.
Yeah.
Straight up cash. Right into
Yeah.
the bank account.
There's no way. No. No. For a swap like that, absolutely not. Now, Juve have plans apparently going into immediate effect, and this is free agents. Same names we heard a lot about during the winter window, and I talked about it a lot. They're spending a lot of time getting things ready, trying to get their ducks in a row for the summer. It's not a bad thing as long as you take care of what you had to in the winter, and they got 2 out of 3. So pretty good there, but stockpiled young talent. Nobody can say otherwise when it comes to the young talent. Brought in some beauties as well. Esad Deniz officially unveiled today. We had Arin Licinic. He's signed and official for next gen. Fortunato Credit as well, and then excuse
That
me,
impossible to
but
pronounce guy
yeah,
from
that
City.
is a doozy. Obabo
Yeah.
duo, what, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm sorry. I will sort it out, though, in the future. But they did a
Yeah.
fantastic job with those guys, okay?
And that guy from Bayern,
Yeah, that was Adin
that was Licia. Adin Licia. Okay.
Lucinic, or yeah.
Great business. Great business.
Great,
Yeah,
great business. Now,
I don't think enough is being made about those moves, to be honest, just because we didn't do anything for the senior team. But I mean,
Yeah, we'll probably get to it, but that was a great window for me.
yeah,
well, we talked about it a lot around the end of the window. I
Yeah.
said it was myself and Cliff on the show, and we said when you're talking about the young talent plucking that they did this winter mercado, that's fantastic. All of them are highly touted, and it was incredible work from Juve. And you're never gonna lose on these moves, whether they pan out or not. You're not losing anything, and you've got everything to gain in them. So I thought it was a fantastic piece of work, but that was something that we also have had eyes on since Tognozzi has left. Since Tognozzi has left, it's like, are we going to continue to be landing all these young guys and bringing like top touted young talent in? And the answer is
Yeah.
yes, we are, obviously. And there is still a lot of appeal for these young guys coming. This time, Bayern gets a little bit of protection in there, unlike what happened with, of course, Yildiz. But Licina, they get a little bit of a break there. Omer,
Yeah,
you
I
gonna say
think
something?
Yeah, it felt like there was a bit of a, let's call it a dry spell at Next Gen
Yeah.
after we had like a whole list of names that we were expecting to see. Like, I'm not going to name them, but there was like 10, 12 players that everyone was waiting to see. And suddenly there was only Eli Mungale. I don't even know anyone else. And they kind of gave us that back and signed some exciting players that could be part of the team in a year or two. Some maybe even train with the team this season, according to what they say. So, like, the excitement for Next Gen is back.
Yeah.
I felt like it dried up
And
a
it's
bit.
great. And obviously, the main one out of them all was Arin Licina. And again, coming from Bayern there, and Juve working on that one. The initial reports were October. Back in October is when they started working on that one. He's on an expiring contract with Bayern, and they got immediate release, free signing, and Bayern just gets their claws in there and stuff. So it's great stuff. It's great stuff. And again, we can't go in with the expectations all these guys go into the first team, etc. Like, obviously the elite will make it in. Maybe there's a little bit of planning too. Maybe Elemogali might step up the next season, and then you start seeing him get minutes with first team, etc. But man, it'll be good to watch all these young guys, see what they can do. Obviously, the 16-year-olds that joined aren't going to go to next gen. Not immediately anyways, unless they can prove otherwise, but they'll go Primavera and then work their way up. But Licina is instantly for next gen, as I believe Obuduo is going to be as well.
So hypothetical, if Juve go into next season, keeping David, signing Colomwani, selling Openda, losing Vlahovic, losing Milik, and promoting, let's say,
Milik.
Elimon Gale. Yeah, that's a big loss.
Milik.
Yeah. So if they go into next season with David, Colomwani, and Elimon Gale, would you be fine with that, or would you like another name in there?
No, we need another striker. Yeah,
another one.
You need you need a different profile.
Yeah, I think you need a profile that's kind of missing. You just want to round out. You give yourself, give Spalletti other options, other solutions. Yeah, that would probably be my bet. And Elimogali is going to be more playing. There were people talking about him and more for his profile as being a vice Yildiz and being called up to help that role this year. And I mean, I'd like to see him continue to develop the way he has and not rush things. I hate when we rush things with young guys. And we've kind of been forced to over the past several years with the debt that we were facing and trying to work our way out of. So I don't need to see any rush moves there. But Eli Mogali, he is training with the first team on occasion stuff, so that's good. But from there, let's just pump the brakes. We'll take it easy. But I want to get into this free agent business because you have names like Celik, and then you have, of course, Senesi, etc. I like the Celik one's really underwhelming. And if they are in fact pushing right now to land a pre-agreement for Celik, it's pretty underwhelming for me. Unless, you know, it's just going to be as a backup. So you're bringing him in $3 million. He'll be level if we renew Kalulu and give him the 3. So he'll be level there. You've got Holm that's in here now. He's got a $15 million purchase option with $3 million in bonuses. Celik doesn't really do a whole lot for me, but would provide coverage, and maybe there is no intention on keeping Holm around and they want to end up with Celik on a free and at least be able to offer Kalulu some backup. I'm just trying to spitball Celik, okay? You get to Senesi. The Senesi one makes sense. You know, hit form, has teams interested. You're trying to beat these other interested teams. Kind of prime years for defender. He's on a free. You can get a favorable salary. Makes sense. But the plan for Juve apparently is quite a few of these deals and then making push in the summer for key signings. Right? So, I mean, this is the route we were heading. I mean, there was no real surprise when you saw this, right? That we're working on landing these pre-agreements for Celik and Senesi and try to leave our business open in the summer for some big key signings. I'd like to see Silva come in on a free. I still think there's some center back help that could also still help on a free. You still have Muaremovic in the background that you could pull in with Senesi as well. They have a lot of options. So all I'm going to say is this. I don't mind these free agents or locking these up, getting pre-agreements. Not for Senesi, not at all. But Celik one's a little bit like, whatever, right?
Yeah, one of the recent reports I saw is that Liverpool are also interested in him and they're trying to get a pre-agreement with him. But it's not a bad name, but it's also like not exciting. If you do renew Kalulu, renew McKennie, and sign Holm, then just there's no need. There's just no need. I don't feel like he's an upgrade that will push those guys out. And you have a much more pressing issue on the left. So he's definitely not a must for me. Definitely
Yeah,
not.
like the Celik one's weird that you'd be in this big huff to try and land immediately. And like I said, you got Holm that's come in. Unless your anticipation is to not even spend the 15 million plus 3 in bonuses, 18, no matter how this guy does. like for me, the Chelik one, don't do it now. Like I would back out of that one. That's the only one. Senesi, I can totally understand going for that pre-agreement now, but Chelik, uh, I'm not liking that one. I'll be quite honest. I think it's why don't you wait to see how Home does, and 18 million, especially over the course of a contract that he signed. I believe that he signed a 4-year agreement with Juve if they take up the option. I mean, I'd probably say that's not going to be massively detrimental to your annuals to stop any business in the future, in the summer. So for me, back out of the Chelik. Mas, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't see Chelik as being that much better of a player than Holm is, to be honest. So I agree with you. Let's see what we have in Holm and then kind of make a decision there. I would understand if Chelik was sort of, at a higher level and everybody knew that, but at this point I don't think he is. So I don't see the need to rush into it, to be honest.
Yeah. So again, nonetheless, we'll see. And then again, if you're gonna go out and do that, and then you do sign this guy on a free, etc., all this, and you open yourself up for all your key business, hey, that key business better be top drawer. But it's all yet to be determined how they're gonna do in the summer. The one thing I think that they can't really do, but they're starting to show signs of it now, which gives me hope. It's been my one real knock is just how slow they operate, and they can't be like that in the summer.
Yeah.
Not with certain names if you are going to be in the mix and in the hunt. But what I did want to say about this news, regardless Chelik or the names, I do like that they're kind of on it and showing like, hey, we've identified some guys and we're going to make some pushes for these guys, regardless if it's a name that's underwhelming and they see as coverage. You need some coverage signings too. The only weird thing with Chelik is you've got, Home that you just brought in too, which is very, very strange. So nonetheless, I digress. We move on. Kamoli, for me, I'm a little bit skeptical still. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag. You're having media post paragraphs about like it or not, however you feel about him, there's one thing consistent with him. He does not get backed into a corner. He will only move in whatever suits Juve. It's on their terms or nothing. Okay. Like the Openda obligation. I mean, it's been a mixed bag. How long things have taken. He literally took so long that he backed himself into this Openda panic thing. It's been mixed bag. The other thing is, Fabrizio Romano also stated there's good and bad that comes with the operation style of Kamoli. He goes, sometimes it's very good because you are getting things eventually on your term, but it's also bad because sometimes you lose out. And you lose out on moves. And not only that, do you lose out on moves, you can affect relationships. A bit of ego in there. All I'm going to say is the summer, I believe, will define what we have in this management group. That's when we'll really, truly find out. This summer. Do you agree with that statement? That's when we can actually, truly make a call. Because there's already people saying in, out, this, that. I'm not there. I'm just skeptical of what I've seen so far. But do you believe that the ultimate judgment can come this summer?
Yeah, I've said it before that you don't judge staff like you judge players or managers, like board members, because they need to think about the future, and the present is up to the coach and the players that you have right now. They're always thinking forward, so I will judge them based on the future and what we do and how we plan towards the summer. Because the last summer was okay. It was very immediate, like it happened in June, and it was underwhelming, to say the least. But this transfer window was actually better, and I did like what they do, and I did like that they didn't sign someone just to sign someone. But yeah, the real test is next summer and how they operate there when they'll have a bit more money and don't have to find deals for players who may or may not be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with that statement.
I would agree with it too. This summer, we'll know what we have in this management group. And I will say this, I could be skeptical of any one member in this group, but I actually have more faith probably in the group as a whole as I do Kamoli. So that's the thing, is that regardless of Kamoli and his operation prior to them forming this group where they decided to bring in Chiellini, who by the way may or may not have been responsible for Spalletti and wanted Spalletti at the beginning, regardless. I have more faith in the group, and that's probably what's going to save face, regardless of my feelings of Kamoli, how he speaks about Toulouse, and how I feel about this whole Moneyball thing. I have faith in the group. But Mas, the summer, is that when we make the ultimate judgment?
Yeah, I would agree with you with your point in terms of organizationally. I think we're at a stronger point now that we've been in the last couple of years, which is obviously a positive. Listen, whatever we plan to do this summer, please, for the love of God, get input from your coach. If we're retaining Spalletti, and that's the plan moving forward, talk to him to get an understanding of how he's going to play, what players he needs, and then try to accommodate him. Because the last 2 to 3 windows, it seems like it's just been, well, here you go. There's this guy. Kind of integrate him into the team and do whatever you want with him, right? And we kind of see that in terms of, the time it takes for these players to get integrated and players that just don't work out, right? So for me, for Komoli's, it'll be a big window for him, and I think it'll be a true test to see if he's truly going to stick around. But please get some input from Spalletti if he's sticking around.
Yeah, because the whole Tudor thing was a mess too. Like, they strung it out to where he looked like Plan 75, and at the end of the day brought no input from him on players whatsoever. He was always just this outcast, and that was a damn shame. So you hate to see that. But it looks like everybody's locked in on Spalletti. We're finally moving in the right direction, and that's something that we've needed a long time. Stability around management and coach. So fingers crossed that we got it, and then let's see what happened. Okay?
Well, they did listen to him with Icardi.
What's that?
Maybe that's a good sign. They did listen to him with Icardi, so that's a good sign that maybe they do run things by him.
Yeah, that's the rumor floating around about Icardi. Whatever. He'd rather go without or watch Openda play striker again than bring in Icardi. So I actually like that for Icardi's ego, but I will stand firm. Fuck, man. I would feel a lot better. I would feel a lot better down the stretch with a striker. I would have hated that it would have to be him, and I don't think it would have had to be. Going back to dealings, could have revisited a loan for En-Nesyri, and I would have taken that over nothing, to be quite honest. But hopefully it doesn't sting us.
The positive thing is Vlahovic is trending in the right direction. So it looks like he might be back sooner than we anticipated. So, I mean, how he's going to come back.
He just started phase 2, and they still said a month and a half, which is what we expected, April.
Yeah, I don't
know. Maybe now is a good time to bring the Vlahovic question. That's without his injury.
On the backside. We got a Vlahovic question on the backside. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do it later.
Let's get to this preview. Let's try machine gun like kind of what we got today with Atalanta. It's gonna be an interesting one. And there's a main question, obviously, that we will talk about that's on the header there as we get into this Coppa Italia clash. But I know what you're thinking, Omar, and we'll probably make that a storm the barn. You boys have segments too, so let's try and rip through this. Beaten to the prize by Juve 2 years ago. Okay, Atalanta kicked off this season's campaign with an emphatic 4-0 defeat of Genoa in the last 16. One of several positive results since Palladino took charge. Okay, a tally of 23 points from 12 league matches has seen Atalanta rise up the rankings. They kept their 7th clean sheet of his reign with a backs to the wall showing on Sunday. All right. Visiting fellow top 6 contenders, Como Palladino's side played almost the whole game with 10 men after Anor's early dismissal. And, man, a long series of saves from Carnesecchi saw them cling on for a goalless draw. Sitting 7th in Serie A, Ladea's only big setback since the start of the year was losing their last 2 league phase fixtures in the Champions League, dropping into the playoffs. Atalanta may have won 7 of 9 home matches under Palladino, but now welcomes his former club to Bergamo. Juve, though, have been busy with their own revival, all right? So much has changed since both these sides played in a 1-1 draw in league back in September, with both teams having new coaches at the helm now. Obviously, Palladino for them, Spalletti for us. If you're looking at form from both of these sides in all comps coming into this, Atalanta in the last 6 is 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Even Steven. Juve, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. The matchup itself, Atalanta have won 3 of the last 4 home matches in all comps by keeping clean sheets. Losing the other, which is as many clean sheets as they'd manage in their previous 24 games. So he's got them playing very compact, very tight football there. The Nerazzurri haven't scored in either of their last 2 games across all competitions. Since joining Atalanta in 23-24, Di Catalare is the only Serie A player to have scored more than 30 goals at 32 and provided more than 25 assists with 28. That actually surprised me to look at the stats on this guy. But Juve are the side against whom he has played the most minutes without having scored or assisted. 364 minutes. Not a single contribution from Di Catalare. Juve are the team De Royn has faced the most as an Atalanta player, 22 times, level with Fiorentina. I kind of forgot about him, but he's kind of on the verge of Mutt FC for me, De Royn, when you play against him. He's kind of on the verge.
I kind of like him. I think he's a decent player with a very funny page on Twitter, and I know I don't hate him. I don't think he's close. For me, he's not close to Mutt FC.
I don't care about Twitter, so it doesn't really do any points for me. On the pitch, I've seen him sometimes. He's kind of annoying. But that's probably good. He's doing his job. But yeah, he could be in there. I don't care. This will be the 19th Italian Cup game, okay, between Juve and Atalanta, which the Bianconeri have won 8. The last 2 cup meetings between the two ended in final successes in 2021 and 2024. Juve have avoided defeat in 18 of the last 20 away games to Atalanta across all competitions. The Bianconeri are the only side to have always progressed beyond the round of 16 in the Coppa Italia in the last 19 seasons, dating back to 2007-2008. That's awesome. No midfielder has more goals across all competitions this season than Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie, 4, tied alongside McTominay. And Jonathan David has had a hand in 10 goals. 6 goals, 4 assists in 20 appearances since Spalletti has joined. He had 1 goal, 1 assist in the 10 matches before his arrival on the bench. We're going to take a quick peek at your lineups. Okay. I want Atalanta up there first, but there you go. Kristovic, Samardzic, Raspadori, newcomer, up top for Atalanta. Okay. Sportiello in goal. Carnesecchi not going to be in there. Interesting. Anor getting the nod after that early dismissal. These are all question marks. Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Hien, Cosano, Zappacosta, Musa, Ederson, Bernasconi across the middle. And we talked about the trident up top with Kristovic, Samardzic, and Raspadori. So some interesting front there, but one of the keys to the game should negate that. Juve, Perin getting the call. This is projected. Kalulu, Gatti, Kelly, Cabal, Locatelli, Cope Miners, Conceição, Miretti, McKennie, David. I'm going to hit you with injuries quick, and then I want to get your thoughts. This projected lineup and everything going into this. When you're looking at injuries, one long-term absentee will be Mitchell Bakker, who will miss out for the host. Juve, we had concerns about Yildiz. He is on the squad sheet. He's not expected to get minutes in this one, though. Vlahovic, and then Milik. That's it. Fellas, you saw the lineups. Some are going to go through some PTSD with the Monaco debacle to end out Champions League. Is it too much rotation? Are you concerned? Do you feel okay with it? What are your thoughts going into this game? Let's start with Omer, then get to Mas.
Well, I'll be a lot more calm if the lineup you showed is the one they start with. But I don't think it is. There's a lot of players missing. Look, Atalanta are playing pretty well right now. They kind of got schooled in the last few days of the of the Champions League. But all in all, they're good, and they're always a tough nut to crack. This is going to be a tight one, in my opinion. I believe we're going to see heavy rotations from both teams, mainly because Juve play on Sunday, and 2 days later, Atalanta play on Monday. But still, Juve should go through. I wish they'd go through, because on the other side, you've got Lazio and Bologna, who aren't doing quite well right now, and you're in the final. And on the other side, you have Inter, who will either have to play Como twice or Napoli twice. So it's up for grabs. I mean, it's pretty good road for Juve to reach the final. I expect a cagey one, like a 2-1 win, something like that. And that's about it. No Yildiz. Let's see how we can do without him.
What do you think about this game? What are your thoughts when you see that lineup? Obviously, you got to use some rotation, but is it a bit too much? Can we keep the level up?
It is a lot of rotation, but our guys need rest, so it's important to get that. I think we have enough on the team with that lineup, despite the fact that there's some guys on there that, Gatti and Coop, to name a couple, that put a little fear into me in terms of what they can do. I think in general, there's enough talent there to be able to go through. Like Omer said, Atalanta's a tricky team. They do have some quality in that team. The fact that Carnesecchi isn't playing is huge, because he's been on an absolute run this season.
Why isn't he playing?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I don't know if they're rotating or if he's hurt, but he's probably been outside of Magnan, he's probably been the best keeper in Serie A this year. So the fact that he's not playing is important. But yeah, like I said, I still think there's enough talent here to be able to go through, to be honest. And in terms of the bracket, I mean, again, like Omer said, we got the easier side. So yeah, it's important for us to go through, because I think the path to the final is there for us for the taking.
Yeah, you've got to obviously make some rotations. Perin has not instilled much confidence, but should not hopefully be an issue. Gatti might be an issue, I'll be quite honest. But I can totally understand wanting to rest Bremer. Cabal, we've been wanting Cambiaso to get a rest and just get his head out of his ass. So it's like, okay, Cope Miners, this one's probably like, it's just so redundant to have this guy out there while Loca's on there, but you still, like, the midfield doesn't hum at all without Loca. And I just don't see Cope Miners holding his own or adding something offensively that somebody would have to do, because that's the whole point of having Loca in there, to dictate everything, tempo, control, and guys take advantage of that, like Thuram does, get forward, etc. But Coop brings nothing. I don't really know how I would work the midfield. Obviously, Miretti advanced between McKennie, now moving to the left in Yildiz's absence. It's an interesting one. There's a lot of rotation there. I just hope, for the sake of that, we don't see such a big drop-off. One of the big keys that's in there that kind of would be different to the Monaco, at least, is that You do have Locatelli in there, which should hopefully help both sides. Tempo and play, and also hopefully help out with Gatti there. But Gatti's looked a mess since he's come back. Just going to call it for what it is. You got to have some rotation. We'll see what happens here, man.
The other thing, Bert, you got to look at, the fact that Jagrova can't get a start in this game is super telling in terms of what Spalletti thinks about him. Again, I think we all agree that I think the not 100% argument is basically just BS at this point.
I literally read a report today still bringing up the fitness. If he can bring his fitness up to, it's like, guys, we are February 5th.
Yeah.
No, then say he's injured and don't call him into the lineup until he's healthy, because you're not fooling anyone with he's not 100%, but he's on the squad and he just doesn't play.
Yeah.
Announcing he's injured, and that's it.
I'm not buying the fitness thing, but like, I don't know. There's already talks about his potential next season and what's going to happen, and it's going to come down to fitness. We'll see, but that's been ridiculous. I have no words for it. But I'm kind of leaning towards, I don't know, is it a trust thing? Because you're talking about rotation. Spalletti, a little bit fearless in this lineup with some of the rotation that he's shown. I would have to think he'd be okay with Jagrova working that out, but he doesn't seem to. So maybe it is a fitness thing. Maybe it is.
And listen, we're getting what we deserve in this situation. I mean, the guy had one more year left on his contract.
Yeah.
But we were so gung-ho on bringing him in, a guy that had injury history. We could have just waited a year if we really wanted him that bad. But we decided, hey, you know what? Let's bring him in the summer. And now you're stuck with a player that can't get into the lineup.
That's what I said around that time. Yeah. I said, can we not wait to see him get into action for that team and then land like a pre-agreement when he's on a free? I don't understand the big gung-ho rush, and then we have this charity case where we're having to bring a guy up. It's like you did the same thing in January with Boga to some degree. A lot lesser degree, because he hasn't been out anywhere near as long as Jagrova was. But here you are, right?
Yeah, I mean, if Kostic starts ahead of you on the right flank, then it's not fitness. It isn't.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. And I'm kind of surprised. I will be surprised if Kostic doesn't play today, doesn't start today. But it's a Spalletti thing. Spalletti sees something in him in training or whatever that he just doesn't like or doesn't think is needed. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's the plan, but it's not a fitness.
Yeah, as far as these, this lineup and whatnot, hey, got to keep the level up. So one of the big things is the midfield should at least hum with Loca in there, but Cope Miners is really going to have to impact the attack. And I do trust that Spalletti will acknowledge that and let him know, like, going into this thing, like, man, there is no point in you hanging back or drifting to flanks. Like, no, you pretty much have to be the guy that supports these attackers and gets forward. Have some shots. This was one of the best parts of your game before you came to us from Atalanta. I had some of the stats there. They seem to have been lost in the shuffle here or whatnot, but he had spectacular production numbers during his time at Atalanta. And you were doing it from these trailing runs. This puts you in the perfect position to do that damage. So he's got to show something today. You absolutely have to show something today. This has been beyond ridiculous with this guy. Patience, wearing thin, that would be an understatement. It's time to get it going. Now, as far as this game, in honor of Scangavino, no knees, whatever the hell you want to call him, we are going to take a look at the official. Michael Fabri, 160 appearances in Serie A, 4.5 yellows per game, 40 reds, 45 PKs, dished out. I believe he just officiated us not long ago. If I was correct, maybe not. I swear we had Fabri not that long. Fiorentina. Oh, that's the last time he officiated us? That ugly match against Fiorentina? Oof.
I'm surprised Omar didn't go, oh, geez, not him.
No, because I would say that about any Italian referee.
Oh, God.
Oof. Oof.
Not this guy.
Prediction.
Not this
Final
guy.
score. Give me 2 tiebreakers for fun. Let's go. Chat, fire away. How do we go here in the Coppa Italia? Mas.
Who's at home? Are we at home?
No, we're on the road.
We're on the road. I'm going to go 2-1 Juve. 2-1 Juve, and I'm going to say my tiebreaker. You know what? I'm going to get the juju going here, and I'm going to say Coop's going to get a goal. That's it. Coop's going to get the winner, game winner. 2-1.
All right.
It
2-1.
may be
We got a Cope Miners goal call.
or something. It'll be a fluke goal, but
there you go.
2-1.
It wouldn't be the first time I shit on a player before a match and he comes out and actually does some. So hopefully that's the case. I hope that you're right. Omer, prediction time.
I want to go KG 1-0. Tough match. Yeah, so 1-0. The winning goal scored by McKennie. Who else?
All right. I would love nothing more than to call a clean sheet. I don't think that's going to be the case, especially if Federico Gatti is out there based on what I've seen from him in the past few little cameos. These are just cameos, by the way. Starting off a match, full 90, I don't have much faith there that we keep the clean sheet. Sad to say. Atalanta has been keeping things tight at least. I don't expect a lot of goals in general. Could we see PKs? Potentially. It's a game that could go to it, but I'm going to give Juve the 2-1 edge. I'm going to say that we will score 2 goals. I like the McKennie goal shout, but I'm actually going to say that Chico gets on the score sheet, okay? I'm going to say Chico gets on the score sheet with a goal.
He needs
and
that.
I think that one of the substitutes might help put this thing away in the second half. So let's just say that. A substitute gets the game winner. Let's go with that. 2-1. Man, let's see some of the calls in here. How we feeling, everybody. 2-2. Winning on PKs. There you go. 3-1. McKennie Gatti. And a debut goal from home. The Swedish Moose calling a red card. 6-2 Juve. Copristel's. Oh. Hope you're right. Hope you're right. 2-1 Mac and Loca. All right. 3-1 Juve. 1-1 we win on kicks. Paolo. 3-1 Juventus victory with Miretti as your MVP. A pen somewhere in the game. Openda goal, and we will be down at half after a poop horror show. It gets subbed at half. Huh. That's a lot of detail there. Okay. I like that one. 2-0 Juve. 2-1. 3-1 Atalanta. Mamma mia.
What the heck
2-2
is going on?
PKs. Juve goes through. Bremer last PK. Holy smokes. A Bremer PK. Okay. Now it's time to end the fun. Well, we'll still have fun. But, guys, real quick. Is it final or bust for Juve in Coppa Italia?
I mean, it would be nice to get the silverware. I mean, in terms of monetary value, I think it's worth $7 million or something like that in terms of what the champion gets. No, I don't think it's final or bust. I mean, our path, like I said, is pretty easy. So it'd be pretty sad if we didn't get to the final. But I would much rather see a longer Champions League run and a stronger run in the Scudetto race versus the Coppa Italia. That's just me.
This is the first look at Juve in a knockout clash. Could set you up quite nicely for everything, for Serie A or Champions League, as you're about to embark on a very difficult knockout matchup. So, yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's never would you rather, would you rather. No, it's everything is full go, full steams ahead. Um, Final or bust with this draw, we should be hitting final. We should be hitting final.
Yeah, I mean, Atalanta is the toughest match
Yeah.
until the final. So yeah, it's a funny one with this trophy. Like when you don't win it, then you talk about it like it doesn't matter. It's sort of one of these trophies that you include to say, oh, that's the treble season or the double season or whatever. I think a trophy is a trophy. Winning it, first of all, guarantees you a place in Europe. Maybe not exactly where we want, but it will be a good thing to lean on. Although the match is at the end of the season, so we'll probably know where Juve are by then. So, yeah, it's interesting. If you're winning the Scudetto, then it's great to also win it. It's not that detrimental to say if we had a great season or not. I mean, some of these are one-off matches that can be decided by penalty kicks or red cards, and you don't get a chance to repair. So it's a nice trophy. It's not the be-all end-all, but Juve should aim to win it regardless.
Yeah, no, you gotta go for this one. What are we talking about? Final or bust? Yeah, I mean, this is an opportunity for these guys too, in the rotation that Spalletti's going to put out there, to make right what was wrong in Monaco. So you had an abysmal game there. One of the worst watches I've seen in a long time. 5 total attempts in the entire game. Not a sniff of a big chance by any means. This is a less intense competition that still should be a point of pride. We have 15 Coppa Italias. Let's push for 16. Let's keep tallying that number up. And for these other guys, here's a knockout tie where you can show that we can come in here and we can play a part. And it will be big down the stretch, because it's not just Coppa Italia that Spalletti is going to have to rotate in. There are going to be games in the league that you're going to have to rotate in as well. So this is a very important match for momentum, for confidence in these guys moving down the stretch. So it's pretty damn big. Making the final? Yeah, I would expect you to make the final with that draw. And Atalanta is probably your trickiest opponent. After that, hey, it should be a finals run, and then you face most likely one of the other two sides around the top 4 in Italy. But for now, no, man. I go into this thing. We have the intentions of winning this trophy. Always maximum intentions. I saw Del Piero do an interview just the other day, and he talked about it again. Even when people are talking about Scudetto, saying it's out of reach now, and he says, why? 10 points? Is it mathematically impossible? They answered him no. And he says, well, until it is mathematically impossible, why would you not have the highest ambitions? That's what Juve need in every competition, in my opinion. So final or bust? Yes. Final or bust. Let's go. Let's beat the piss out of Atalanta and keep it rolling. Guys, no watch along, unfortunately, for today's game. I'm going to be at work there, okay? But we're going to have some fun now, and let's get to these guys' segments, okay? And we're going to have to, we're already just after 7 my time. We're going to have to roll. But Mas, you got a top 5. We're doing ranking the masses. Then we're doing bald statements. Fire away.
Yeah. I gotta defer to the GOAT. Homer's always got to go for it.
Bald statements it is.
Oh,
My eyes.
oh.
Okay, so I'm going first.
Love that.
Okay, so we have a few general ones and a few Juve related ones. So let's go. First one. It's pathetic to refund the money to fans after your team lost in an away match. Now, this one came because City refunded their fans for that Bodo Glimt loss.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Omer. What's that?
It's pathetic to refund the money to fans after your team lost an away match that the fans traveled to.
I didn't even know that happened. So
I don't think it's pathetic. No, it's might be considered over the top, but
Yeah, maybe pathetic is a strong word, but it happens. I see it happening a bit more and more in the recent 2-3 years. I think it's redundant unless something happened that had nothing to do with the match. But yeah, buying a ticket, I mean, no team owes you a win. They will try their best, but they
Yeah.
don't have to refund you if they didn't do it. I think it's redundant. If it's just because you lost the match, whether it was a big loss or whatever, clubs shouldn't refund fans for losses.
I don't think it's pathetic. I just think it's so over the top, man. Like, it's just not necessary. But I don't
Not
think
needed.
it's pathetic. I mean,
especially for a team of that stature, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You're not going to win every game.
they haven't necessarily
you-
had it bad over the last few years, so I don't think there's a need to be refunding any traveling fans. But again,
No, you
over the top,
you-
not so much pathetic. Just a little fan service, but
you-
over the top.
you don't want to set that standard that every time traveling fans. Eventually, you do it enough, people will start expecting it. Anyway, next one. Players not celebrating against their old clubs has become exaggerated.
Exaggerated in the sense that they're trying too hard not to celebrate. Is that what you mean?
No, that even a player who played at a club for 2 years and then moved on and scored against them, I mean, for me at least, he hasn't earned the right to not celebrate. It's not like Lampard scoring for City against Chelsea. I mean, there are levels, and I've seen it happen more and more and
there's
more, and it's
definitely
just
players that it's like, and again, it's their own, it's their own decision, it's their own call. Like, I mean, I don't really care. But yeah, a guy that's had a decent run with a team, I could understand not doing it. But a guy that was like, what, a year, 2 years? I mean, shit, who cares, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah. And I knew that would bring up Bonucci, so we won't get into it.
Bonucci
but
had no
there's a
problem.
lot more.
Yeah, but the
there's a
funny
lot
thing
more
with
to
that, I was at that
story.
game. I was
Yeah.
at that game. He literally got it from the crowd the second he just took the warm up train, and all he did, he just gave it back to them. So you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. The fans got it that time.
Yeah, eventually
But
they
we
lost.
ultimately
It didn't really
gave
matter.
him one of these with a 3-1 victory. Dybala, Cuadrado, Khedira. I remember all 3 goals. Fucking beauty of a game.
Although I did expect him not to celebrate, but he was at Juve for 7 years at that time.
I expected it the second I saw the reaction. When I saw the reaction, I turned to my wife and I said, he's going to score today and he's going to celly. Guarantee you. And the guy
Yeah,
sitting
there's
next
a
to me
lot
started
more.
laughing when it happened. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, you called it. I was like clockwork, man.
Yeah, there were a lot of other factors like that. His kid was really sick back then, and I mean he had a lot on his mind. So it happened, and it came back. So it doesn't really matter. Okay,
Yeah.
next one. Trezeguet is the best foreign striker Juventus have ever had.
I will say yes. Just that I love so I love a few of these other guys that could be in the mix. For me, Trezeguet was an absolute freak. You guys know how I feel about Del Piero, and Del Piero and Trezeguet together was, like, in my opinion, my favorite duo to watch. I think it's Trezeguet, but
Mhm.
obviously CR7, would we consider him? It wasn't technically a striker though for us. He played on the
Mhm.
wing, so I'm not considering him in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you add Ronaldo, then you can add Platini and
Platini was a
yeah,
advanced midfielder,
Yeah.
yeah,
so I'm talking legit strikers. So I would
striker.
consider Pipita in the
Yeah,
mix, Tevez in the mix.
it's got
Like
to be Trev.
Mhm.
I'm taking
Longevity,
Trez.
longevity, stats, everything that he did, pure
Yeah, so
skill.
that question
Yeah.
came because I saw the list of top scorers for Juve. Can you guess the five foreign guys in that list? Top five foreign guys
In what list?
of top scorers for Juve ever.
Top foreigner scorers?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, Trez is the leader.
Is
that's
Pepita
one.
on there?
Pipita's got to be on, no?
Not in the first five.
Not in the
Hmm.
first five?
Wait, let me
Platini,
see what the first
foreigner.
exactly. One, two, three, four. Yeah.
Sivori. Sivori?
You know what? I think Platini isn't in there as well.
Sivori?
Wow.
Sivori is Italian, not foreign.
Sivori's Italian. I thought he was. Oh,
I
no, he
thought he
was
was
Italian. I was
Argentinian.
thinking Argentine for a second.
Me too.
No, Mart is
Trez Dybala.
Dybala's in there.
Okay, so
So
Trez
you have Trez
Dybala.
Dybala. Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
goal
Sorry, I'll
scorer?
add Platini. Platini is in there as well.
Okay, yeah. So Platini, Trez,
Yeah.
Nedved in there?
Dybala. Trying to think
No,
all-time goal scorers too.
Nedved not in there.
Who?
Nedved.
Nedved is not in there.
No, not enough goals. Oh man. Trying to think here.
Mhm.
Is it? It's gonna be
Someone in the chat.
foreigners.
Someone in the
So
chat
we're
got one.
thinking like somebody's throwing out Charles.
John Charles is in there.
Charles. Okay, so who's that
Oh.
fifth? I can't think of the fifth.
Mm-hmm. By the way,
Can't think of the fifth.
Sivori is listed here as Italian. If he is Argentinian, then that's the list.
Okay.
If not, then there's another name.
Well, Ronaldo had 100 or whatever it was.
Didn't make it. No,
Yeah,
Dybala had
103 years, but
115.
all time, that's yeah. He was the fastest to 100.
Yeah. So the last one is John Hansen with
I would have never got
126 goals.
Okay.
You want the list? Let me
I would
run through
never-
it quickly. Del Piero, Boniperti, Bettega, Trezeguet, Sivori, Borrell, Anastasi, Hansen, Munerati, Dybala, Baggio, John Charles, Platini, Ronaldo, Gabetto, Inzaghi, Orsi, Ferrari, a lot of names from like the 50s and 60s. Higuain is 22nd, Nedved right after him. Vlahovic is 24th for all time.
There you
Can you
go.
imagine that?
There you go.
Okay. Next one. Juve should stop spending big on players from mediocre clubs. Now, mediocre is a pretty big word, but you get what I'm saying. Like
No,
go
I get
if
what
you
you're
have
saying. I'm
18.
just trying to think about this because it's difficult because would we consider I would consider Palermo nothing special, and when I would consider 40 million a pretty good splash on Dybala at the time. You know, worked out
Yeah.
pretty damn good. I mean, I'd love to say that you only splash big bucks on guys that are proven, but at the same time, you could be missing out on some gems. So I think overall, I'm going to disagree with an asterisk just saying don't spend big at Atalanta and Fiorentina potentially.
Okay. Mas?
Definitely Atalanta for sure. Yeah, I mean, with that, you're saying that you're never going to drop big money on proven players that are on those smaller teams too, right? So,
Yeah.
no, I would disagree on that.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree.
Okay. I actually agree.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Just because if you have 80 million to spend, I would rather you go for like a Camavinga or Tonali than an Ederson. But that's just me. Recent market, like the guys we spent on were
Yeah,
shit. Gonzalez, Douglas Luiz, Coop Miners, and the
but
guys we
that
didn't pay a lot for.
but answering in that, that is a preference to the player you'd like to sign. It doesn't mean that you should never spend big on a player from a mediocre club, because that just means you prefer so and so to this player. But it doesn't negate that one of those
Mhm.
clubs could ever have a player that you would value at 50 or 60 and you should not buy him.
Oh no, it
Well,
doesn't.
and the argument could be made, right? You have one gem on a team, a smaller team that's playing way over his head
If we
versus
had a chance to spend 60 or 70 on Nico Paz right now, and it's like, no, because he's with Como.
no.
Yeah. So how good does he have to be to
I
splash
mean,
that
it's got to
that
make
on
sense.
him?
Got to make sense for the team. He's got to be good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nuanced.
Yeah.
Okay, next and last one. And that one came from the army chat. The notion that Lippi's second stint at Juve was underwhelming is false.
Dan Bird.
that it was
Mhm.
underwhelming. I mean, it was underwhelming.
That that question came up because of Allegri, obviously, and so we said that even Lippi and Trapattoni's second stints were underwhelming. They suffer from the same thing that Max suffers for me.
Because the
Just
first stint was so overwhelming.
yeah,
Yeah.
victim of their own
You're never going to be able
first
to
stint.
replicate that, right?
Yeah.
So,
So Lip is second stint.
I think, yeah, it was underwhelming. It was underwhelming for me.
Mhm.
Call it a victim of the circumstances, like Max, because of the first 10, whatever. But I would still say that it was underwhelming. I wouldn't say that it wasn't.
yeah.
I would say it was a bit underwhelming, mainly because of Champions League, because that was like his
Yeah.
third final loss, and then they got eliminated by La Coruña. The squad was aging, like it wasn't like everyone in their prime, like his first stint. Like, Davids, Ferrara, Conte, all those guys, they were nearing the end of their career. Serie A was the best in the world, so the competition was a lot tougher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they have one. He has two Scudettos, one, on the final day because Inter dropped the ball against Lazio, Cinque Maggio. So yeah, a bit underwhelming, and he came from Inter.
Yeah, I think it's underwhelming. That was me.
But then he had like the World Cup, so everything goes out the window.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
that's it for the bold statements. Let's go
Beautiful.
for
I
Mas.
think this actually tees up Mass on a platter with ranking the masses today.
Oh.
Take
It
it
does.
away,
Nice.
buddy. And we got yourself a little ranking the masses.
That's what they call a perfect transition, Omer. Well done.
There
So,
you go.
speaking of managers, listen, so right now no one can deny that we're on a bit of a heater. We're rolling right now, right? So our coach definitely has a lot to do with it since he's come on. I don't know what the exact record is, but the play has been pretty phenomenal since he's come on. So maybe one day he might go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time in terms of Juve history. But right now he's kind of working his way up and he's doing okay. So it got me thinking, and today we are going to do top 5 managers in Juve history. So thank you very much, Omer, for that segue.
Nice.
So number 5, and I'm going to preface this by saying this coach, obviously, I wasn't alive for. I didn't watch him, so I can't actually use anything other than the research that I did for it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lead with a quote either from the coach themselves or from a player or a pundit or whatever that's played for them. And I'll give you some stats and then I'll break down some of the notes. So number 5. Sorry. Number 5, Carlo Carcano, 1930 to 1935. So here's a quote from Carcano. At Juventus, a draw is a defeat. Victory is not enough. It must be domination. 161 matches, 68.9% win percentage, 4 league titles. So Carcano masterminded what is known as the golden 5-year period, winning 5 Scudetti in a row. What made him such a good manager was he was ahead of his time tactically, and he was definitely known as a great man manager. He was able to create an environment where his stars, all got along and really built a team environment. He was also one of the first coaches to really get into the psychology of players and other teams and other coaches. One of the first, check out this formation, one of the first to develop a 2-3-2-3 formation. Imagine busting that out in the league today. That would be crazy. But that was seen as revolutionary at the time. And he's still one of only 2 managers in Italian football history to win 4 consecutive league titles. So that's number 5. Number 4, Antonio Conte, 2011 to 2014. So here's a quote from Bonucci on Conte. Conte taught us to hate losing more than we love winning. Okay, and that rings true to Conte as a player and as a coach, right? The guy was obsessed with and is obsessed with winning. 133 matches, 67.5% win percentage, 3 league titles, and 2 Super Coppas. So listen, Conte is always going to go down as the coach that resurrected Juve after Calciopoli. He was able to take a 7th place team and really build them into a dominant force once again. What makes him great? Listen, he demands discipline. Tactically, he was always innovative and flexible. But again, above all else, he had an obsession for winning. That's all that mattered for him. In terms of tactics, when he came over, he started with 4-3-3. But then with Pirlo coming on board, he realized that he needed to move to a 3-5-2 because he had a back line of the BBC that was really the anchor of the team. So that's kind of what he went with. And listen, in terms of him being a former captain, he really understood that fino alla fine mentality that he really instilled into his players, not only in the locker room, but on the pitch as well, right? So if you look at it, first season, we went undefeated, which is still crazy to me when I think about it. We won the Scudetto that year. In 13 and 14, we set an all-time points record with 102. During his tenure, Juve only lost 2 home games, which is just a wild stat. Listen, his time with us, it really provided the structure and the mentality to guide us through the future years of dominance that we experienced. So Conte's number 4. Number 3, Max Allegri, 2014 to 2019, and then stint number 2, 2021 to 2024. So here's a quote from Allegri: "Football is simple. Complicated people make it difficult." I love that one. 399 matches, 70.4% win percentage, 5 league titles, 4 Coppa Italias, 2 Super Coppas, and 2 Champions League finals. So listen, when Allegri came over, no one can debate the fact that there was a bit of trepidation from Juve fans and pundits, because Conte was so successful and Allegri was still kind of a bit of an unknown at that point. What followed after that was really one of the greatest coaching runs we've seen in Serie A history. Aside from the titles, he's the only coach in Europe's top 5 leagues to win a domestic double 4 consecutive seasons. He coached the only 2 Serie A teams in history to keep 10 consecutive clean sheets. The guy has 650 career points with Juve. I mean, the list really goes on and on. So what made him so great? He was tactically flexible, a defensive mastermind, corto muso. And in reality, he really just kept things simple. And listen, he was a great manager. At the end of the day, it's hard to keep a team motivated after you've won 5 titles in a row. So he did that. And listen, he never cared about playing beautiful football. For him, like Juve's motto, winning was the only thing that mattered, right? He didn't care to play the beautiful game. And listen, I know his second stint wasn't as good as his first stint, obviously, but sorry, I would argue that he was probably the only coach that could have guided us through that whole period in terms of of COVID and everything we had to deal with during that time. Um, I feel like he was the right coach during that period of time. So that's three. Number two, Marcello Lippi, 1994 to 99, and then 2001 to 2004. And listen, arguments could be made here for number two and number one to switch back and forth, but I have Lippi at two. Here's a quote from Lippi: "I did not train champions. I trained men who refused to lose. 405 matches, 55.7% win percentage, 5 league titles, 1 Champions League, 1 Intercontinental Cup, 1 Coppa Italia, 4 Supercopas, and 1 UEFA Super Cup." So that's quite the haul in terms of championships. So why was Il Mister so successful? So he really gave Juve a modern identity, tactically, in terms of aggression, in terms of being, psychologically elite. He played a high pressing game. Juve was always very vertical with him, and he was able to shift between different formations based on, certain players on the other team and just certain teams in general that he played. And the thing I loved about him is he really thought that, a group of players that were cohesive could always beat a team of talented players that were disjointed. So he always believed that in his heart. And, you saw that when he came on in 94, he started to become less dependent on Baggio, who up until that point, Juve was very Baggio dependent, right? He didn't rely on a certain set of players. He was always able to rebuild his sides, and he always knew when to sell off key players. So if you look at it, he sold off Vialli, Ravanelli, Zidane. All these guys made their way out because Lippi knew it was beginning to come to the end of the cycle for them. And listen, to this day, he's still the calmest coach I've ever seen on the pitch. Whether your team's winning 5-0 or losing 3-0, this guy was always stoic and level-headed, which was always a great thing to have for a manager. And listen, he understood at the end of the day that a strong national side needed a Juventus spine. And that obviously you can tell from the World Cup win in 2006. And personally, while he isn't number one on my list, he's my favorite coach of all time for sure, bar none.
Easily mine, for sure. For sure.
And then number one, Giovanni Trapattoni, 1976 to 1986, 1991 to 1995. So here's a quote from Trapattoni: "It's better to have 0% of the possession and 100% of the goals," which really gives you an idea of what his mentality was in terms of the game of football. 596 matches, 53.5% win percentage, 6 league titles, 2 Coppa Italias, 1 Champions League, 2 UEFA Cups, 1 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and 1 Intercontinental Cup. Just crazy. Trapattoni is the first coach in history to win all 3 major UEFA club competitions within the same club. So during his first 10-year loan with Juve, he won 12 titles in 10 years, and overall he won 14 titles. And he still holds the record for most Serie A victories with a single team, with 213. Listen, at the end of the day, quite simply, Trapattoni is the most influential manager in the history of Juventus, bar none, in my opinion. Listen, he transformed what was a domestic powerhouse into ultimately a European giant, right? Master of organization. He was focused on less of possession and more of moving the ball quickly. Like I said, the quote that I read, it really shows you how he liked to play, and he's really comparable to Allegri in that regard, where results were all that mattered versus style of play. He built teams that were very compact, very resilient, but he did rely on his stars, like at that time Platini, Scirea, Boniek, all players that were very important for him. His game prep was known to be almost maniacal at times. He studies his opponents down to like very, very minute details. And listen, I would say if you want to have a good laugh in terms of interviews and press conferences, this guy was an absolute legend. Go to see some of them, because some of the jokes and some of the blowups that he had were just legendary. So that's it, guys. Trapattoni's number one for me.
All right. So recap: top 5 best coaches in Juve's history.
Absolutely. Number 5, Carlo Carcano, Number 4, Antonio Conte. Number 3, Max Allegri. Number 2, Marcello Lippi. And number 1, Giovanni Trapattoni.
You know what? I have no arguments on those. I mean, and all the details too on what they did and stuff. I mean, pretty much explains it. That's the exact order I would do, and everybody knows Lippi is my favorite. But I often ask myself, because obviously I wasn't around for the Trapattoni era. Like, I just wasn't around. So I literally started with Lippi, etc. But Lippi, for me, is just amazing. And even now, as the time has gone on that I've followed the team, like, I loved Allegri 1.0. I loved Conte as our coach in that first run. But Lippi, for me, still takes a cake. But I often wonder, if I was around at that time, if Trapp would actually be my favorite of all time. And I think it just might be because I wasn't actually wholeheartedly invested in following the club and whatever. I wasn't even born for the beginning of it. So, you know, I do wonder that at some times. But for me, Lippi is my favorite. But that rating, based on what was accomplished, based on what happened, I would agree that Trapp is number 1. But Lippi is my favorite.
Yeah, just on trophy case alone, I mean, Trapattoni was...
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tough to like rank these guys that you haven't seen, because there's a lot that goes into it that you experience, how they act on the pitch, how they act, you know, during tough moments after a team lost, what's the interview. And I didn't get that, not with Carcano and not with Trapattoni. So it's pretty hard to rank them because there's a lot of personal emotions going into it.
Yeah.
No, I think I'd keep it exactly the way you put it. Very hard to argue against Trapattoni, and I don't know Carcano enough, but I heard, what was it, 69 win percentage, and that was probably enough. I guess the rest are lower than that.
Yeah.
Or did higher, but in less time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one higher was Allegri, actually, at 70%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go. That was a fun one. Good shit, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit. Storm the Barn, we got like barely any time. We're going to machine gun some of these, all right? And then send everybody off to enjoy the match. And then post-match tomorrow. Adam, why did Jeremy get embarrassed when he was on a date? He didn't realize he had a boga peeping out his nose. That's a fucking easy red, buddy. Easy.
Adam, we keep telling you, when you have to explain the joke, it's going to get a straight red.
Straight red, man.
Yeah.
Straight red.
But you can do better. You can do better. Boga, you can do better with Boga.
Yeah.
Do better, Adam.
What's
do
the
better.
best blue and the best pink kit we've had, in your opinion? No problem. I could show you.
Well, 96 for the blue, obviously.
Sorry, that's one thing I don't have a catalog in my head.
So we obviously
like
know
stuff.
95-96 for blue is going to be the Champions League winning kit. But I want to throw a special mention to this fucking gem, okay?
That's
Because
a gem.
This
That
kit
really is a
was
beauty.
spectacular, man. Okay?
Yes.
So 95-96, obviously, but like this is an absolute demon of a kit with the star imprint on it. Nice little fino alla fine there. Huh.
Was it 2012, 2013?
Yeah, that's it. And then pink, I don't care what anybody says. This is the best pink kit. The Kappa, come on. 15-16 is beautiful, but goddamn.
I'd take the 2011-12, which was horrible.
Oh,
it was horrible with the Jude Black star, but I love it so much. Just the memories, the connection.
This up with the Kappa, Mecca. Okay.
It's so ugly that it's good. It's so ugly that it's good.
The sponsor killed that kit, man. Biocco, come on, man.
Biocco.
Well, we were killing it when we had Biocco.
Who's the player with the highest return on investment you'd be okay with selling to generate capital for a move like Tonali?
I mean, the obvious answer is Cambiasso, but I think this season lowered his price a lot.
No, Omer. They said generate capital. So you were wrong.
Here's my thing. Nobody.
Bring him in
Get
anyway.
rid of the players that you want to. If you can then make a move for set player, then you make a move. But to look at it is like, hey man, we gotta sell Thuram to get Tonali. I don't think that's the case. So for me, it doesn't really go hand in hand. The highest return on investment right now, you pretty much have a list of players you're willing to sell. So of the list of players I'm willing to sell or would probably get rid of, Cambiasso is the obvious answer that probably has the biggest return for this team. If you can make a move for Tonali after it, great. If you can't, then we move on. Like, it's just like, but if you're like at a club and you're like, hey, we got to go after this guy, we have to generate enough capital to get this guy, and then you're saying goodbyes, that, yeah, for me it doesn't work, right? But the highest return player, to answer the question, Cambiasso is the obvious one, you know. And
Yeah,
David
I'm
potentially could
thinking.
finish the season. This is a good point at being higher capital based on value and everything because he came in on a free. So that's a very interesting one to say. But right now, I mean, hey, we said it was up to him to show us until the end of the season whether or not we don't care about that capital or not. And he's been on a heater too. So, hey, knock on wood that he keeps it going down the stretch. Can we stop with the reheated minestra riscaldata? No to Colo, Chiesa, or anyone else other than Savona. Okay, well you can't. Come on, can we stop it with the returns? But then you want to return Savona, who should have never left. Also, can we start overprice our players? We're selling low and buying high. Yeah, we definitely need to sell stronger. I will say that. As far as returns, I'm pretty much at a point where I don't want returns, like just in general, but there would be some outliers that the devil's always in the details. You might open yourself up to one, right? You might open yourself up. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, is Colo really a return? A 6-month loan is
Technically, he
considered that's
isn't.
enough.
Technically, he isn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider it really a return, you know? So,
it's not a return for me. Chiesa is, and
yeah.
the rest, Allegri and whoever.
So, Justin, with we're going to have to come up with a nickname for this youngster we just signed. Obadua Duo. He should be promoted next season as a third striker or even cam rotation. I'm telling you, absolutely insane player. I don't know how we got him from City. So there you go. A lot of props going his way. Time will tell the story, but I'm looking forward to always looking forward to seeing young talent. Obviously, we have to cut ties with Cope and Openda. But what do we do with Cambiasso? Potential seems nearly gone. Been a year. Caused more goals against us than for us this season. What do? You just
All
wait.
All three of them out.
Just wait and see how the summer develops. But Cope Miners, I said it. If nothing changes from what we've seen now till the season's end, even if you take a loss, like you just have to cut the cord. I mean, this is one of the things, and it kind of goes back to Cammy.
I think
Cammy V's question about the highest return investment to bring moves. Like for me, it's about getting the roster as strong as possible for your coach. You might have to take a hit here and there, so you can't just be thinking like it's Tonali or bust. Like no, you might have to say some goodbyes that might go the opposite direction, right? But you might get better. Like sometimes you have to take 2 steps backwards to move forward 1 step, right? So I say just wait.
yeah.
Just
It
wait
sucks with Cambiasso. It sucks with Cambiasso because I want to praise him so badly, and I'm so much looking for his next assist or goal or whatever. But he's in this spiral right now, down spiral, and it's getting just worse and worse with every match, and he has to snap out of it. Has to.
Well,
Man.
it doesn't help that the whole team is getting better under Spalletti except him. Like, right? That's the problem.
Yeah, I think he got into this again spiral, and it's hard to come out of. We've seen players who've been through that in recent years. So I'm really hope just he gets benched for his own sake, Get your head straight.
You
Sit a
know what he
few
needs to
matches
do?
out. And
You know what he needs to do? He needs to take a PK and miss it, and then he'll go on a heater just like David. So next time there's a
drink
PK,
drink a Red Bull.
Just
let
miss
him
it.
take that SOB.
All right. Am I the only one who doesn't care about Coppa Italia? I would prefer a quarter or semi in Champions League than Coppa final. Look, you could prefer whatever you want, but to not care about
Well,
it.
I think that's what any fan in the world would say. I would rather
Yeah.
have.
I'd love a
the
Champions League
UCL.
semifinal, but
Sure.
still
Yeah.
From a
want the Coppa
financial
Italia.
perspective, I mean,
Financially, it's wild.
it's huge.
Stop this Coop and Locatelli bullshit, please. I've said this before. They can't play together. We always play terribly. When they do, I expect a slow first half. Hopefully that's not the case, but I mean, we kind of share the same feelings.
I would agree.
Co-miners
I would agree, yeah.
going. Is it crazy to say Locatelli is a top 5 match controlling and tempo setting 6 in the world? Am I just biased? Right now,
You are not
everything's
crazy.
on his side to make that argument that he's in the top. His numbers are in the top across the top leagues. So, I mean, you're not out of this realm. It's not crazy to say he is a top 5 right now this season. No.
No, but the question that I had in mind recently is that Locatelli has to be a starter for Italy right now. Coming
Big time.
March.
Big time.
Has to, right?
Big time.
Because I have a feeling because Juve fans underappreciate him, other fans even more severely underappreciate him, and maybe even Gattuso. But the way he's playing right now, he has to start. Don't give me that Rovella shit or Ricci or all those young
Yeah.
They're,
not even
they're too
close.
busy. They're too busy trying to get Verratti back to pay attention to Loca right now,
Yeah.
which is just wild.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know if they don't play him. If they don't play him, I mean they kind of deserve what's coming.
Yeah, he's on a crazy run right now. Like crazy run. He's got to be like undeniable if you're Gattuso, like undeniable at the moment. So, is Kalulu on some synthetic drug that will kill him if he stops running, and that's why he has to play every single minute? Maybe. Which outcome
Well,
would
you said earlier he had no replacement, so how we don't even know because he plays all the time. We haven't seen any of his replacement.
Okay, we got a machine gun. Last couple here. Which outcome would you rather? Second in the league plus semis in Champions League, but lose this game, or out playoffs in the Champions League, fourth in the league, but we win the cup? I mean,
I hate those questions.
yeah.
So do I. I'm trying to like read and break it down.
I hate it. I mean, because every answer is correct. But
It says, of
situations
course,
are
push
fine.
as far as possible, but which outcome would you prefer? To try and downplay, I'm assuming, the importance or significance of Coppa Italia, but I still say you push for everything. But second in the league, semis in Champions League, but you lose this game. Like, I'd love a semifinal in Champions
Sure.
League with a shot to
That's
go
big-
into the final in
that's
that,
big
and
money,
you get
man.
second in league. I'll be quite honest with you. I think we're going to finish second in the league regardless. So, but out in the playoffs in Champions League to Galatasaray, I would hate. So I wouldn't take that. Fourth in the league, like, I don't want that. You win the cup? Yeah, I'd love to win the cup. At the end of the day, though, all your objectives in both scenarios are kind of hit for this season after a coaching change in November. You've qualified for Champions League. If you get a trophy out of this season, fantastic. You know, make it semis in Champions League. Okay, you'll take more prize money home. Like, you're not far off of everything. So for me, like, it's like, I don't know. A semifinal in Champions League would be great. But if you lose it, it's going to fucking sting like a bastard. I hate those questions. Good job, Sikoko. Rattled. Apparently, United is surveying Locatelli as the Casemiro replacement, being our captain and our beating heart. Would you sell him if the price is right? Could he be the key to bringing Tonali? I guess the answer is kind of the same as what we were talking about before, where I said, for me, the strongest roster year in, year out is where you need to go. So, I'm thinking, how do you get Loca and Tonali on the same team? Not say goodbye to one of your best performers this season to bring in another. Like, Juve needs to stockpile. We need to stop looking at one for one and start moving in the right direction. So for me, it's just a no. Like, I wouldn't sell him. But the price is right. There you go. Okay, there's two parts here. You need to find me, because right now as it stands, there's nobody else that can do it on this team like Locatelli. Operate the midfield. Make it function. Make it hum. So you need to sell him. You need to find somebody that could do it. You're going to say Tonali, but I actually see Tonali better as your box-to-box free floor with that freedom. That's just me. Of course he can operate the same position. He can run it. But
they don't play the same position.
No, like I'd look to be getting both. So for me, is you sell Loca, you need that. And even if you brought Tonali in, you still need coverage there. So for me, ultimately, it's like it's a no for me on saying goodbye to him.
The positive thing is
earlier, like there is a price.
But there is a price. Of course, there's a price. But who's coming in too besides Tonali? Because then you're going to have just Tonali. And is Cope Miner sticking around?
Oh, God, no. The fact that you're seeing these links...
Forever and ever.
The fact that you're seeing these links means he's starting to get some respect, at least in Europe, right? Which is a positive sign.
Do you rest Locatelli against Lazio? If he gets a yellow, he misses the Inter match. Oh, man. It's pretty good chance he's getting a yellow.
Both him and McKennie, not only him, which could be very bad for Juve.
I probably... Sometimes you got to put your trust in those guys, right? Like we talked about it this last match where we had 3 yellows, like bang, bang, bang. McKennie, Bremer, Chico. And Chico was the only one I was nervous about. Locatelli, you might have to put it in his hands and say, man, we need you this game. It's a big one. And I probably don't know if I rest him against Lazio, to be honest. We have this issue where the midfield doesn't hum, but man, do you think you get by without? Today might be a big sign, big key indicator on how you feel you could do without it. That's going to be Spalletti, and I'm sure he's tried alternatives in training too for operating the midfield. Can Moretti do it? You're going to lose some defensive stability and strength there, but he can do it on the ball, I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know, man. Coop should be able to do that. And he just fucking has it.
He did it a few times.
It's a fucking problem.
Yeah, I probably I want to beat Inter so bad. So bad, I would rest Locatelli.
There you go. Omer would rest him. I think I'd probably give him the half so that we could beat the piss out of them in the first half and then say, take it easy. Take it easy. But Koopy Poopy, Sloppy Poppy, whatever you want to call him, he's got to wake up. Today, sounds like he's going to get the shot, okay? We have some rotation coming in. Last time was so pretty against Monaco. Hopefully today, that's not the case. You guys, enjoy the match. Apologies, can't bring you a watch along, but we're back at it for the weekend against Lazio. Tomorrow morning, we got post-match podcast. Let's make it a victory show, okay? I say full throttle, guns blazing. Bring me the 16th Coppa Italia. Today, we got to make Atalanta another fucking victim. Let's get it done. Mas, Omer, absolute pleasure, boys. Love the segments as well. Chat, you guys are the best. Everybody tuning in on your other outlets, get over to YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, okay? And giveaways coming up after the weekend. And we'll see who takes home these beauties from Nike back in 04-05 and 05-06. Enjoy the match. Hopefully, we got a victory show tomorrow, okay? Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Atalante. Avancool.